Hi guys, and yeah, welcome back to another video. Yes, I'm wearing a very colourful shirt today 'cause it's lovely here in the UK, so I hope you like it. And yes, I'm back with another video. And yeah, I thought I'd be back with a boxing prediction video because I quite enjoy predicting boxing matches. I've obviously done a few the last few years. Obviously, I did KSI and Logan Paul. I did Jake Paul's fight against Ben Askren, and I'm back with another one. Yes, for an upcoming boxing match on June the 6th. Yes, we have Floyd Mayweather making his return, going up against Logan Paul. Yeah. Yeah, so this is a fight that was, rumoured to be taking place for months. It got announced in February. Well, I think it got announced last year, but for February. But then it obviously COVID or something, it got cancelled, it got postponed, but now it's been pushed forward again. And it's taking place in June. Yes, Floyd Mayweather Jr., the man who is 50-0, one of the greatest boxers of all time, an absolute living legend. 50-0, one of the greatest defensive boxers of all time, Floyd Money Mayweather, going up against Logan Paul, who is 0-1 as a pro boxer. Yeah. And why is this fight happening? Ka-ching! That's why. It's all about money. Floyd Mayweather is going to get a very nice, big, fat paycheck for this fight. So is Logan Paul. A lot more than he got for his pro fight with KSI. I heard both men are going to be making at least double figures in terms of the millions. So it's going to be a very nice payday for both of them. Yeah, it's an exhibition fight, which I don't quite. So it's 8 rounds, 3-minute rounds, but they still have 10-ounce gloves, no head guards. Yeah, it's just bonkers, man. So yeah, it will take place at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens in Florida, and the Hard Rock Stadium is quite a big stadium. How many can the Hard Rock Stadium hold? It's about a 70,000 seater stadium. So yeah, if they can sell it out, it'd be a pretty big fight. Obviously, it's going to be on DAZN and Sky Sports. They're showing it. It's just, I'm not going to watch it, but I'll definitely watch the highlights the next day. It's just bonkers, isn't it? And the fight has been mainly ridiculed by boxing pundits, boxing fans. Every time it's posted on Facebook, there's just laughing emojis and people in the comments going, "What an absolute joke! Floyd Mayweather's just gone to the depths. He's ruining his legacy, fighting bum YouTubers just for money." And yeah, it's just weird. It is really weird. But am I looking forward to this fight? Kind of, because it is intriguing, even though as ridiculous as it is. So yes, of course, Floyd Mayweather. I'll start with him. Living legend. He's 50-0. Despite whether you love him or hate him, because he's a bit of a knob. He's got an ego the size of planet Earth. But if you were 50-0 with hundreds of millions in the bank, I'm sure you would be too. So whatever. He's got mansions. He owns strip clubs. He's got 20 sports cars. He's got hundreds of clothes, thousands of clothes. He spends thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on jewelry, clothes, everything. The man just lives a lavish lifestyle. That's why he's doing this fight, because he needs to fund that lavish lifestyle he has. I think people say he spends as much money as he earns, Floyd Mayweather. So yeah, but the guy is a legend. 5-division world champion, undefeated in pro boxing, 50-0. Which is a record very few boxers I think will ever replicate. 50-0 is incredible. Of course, his last proper fight, if you don't count the little thing he did against that Japanese kickboxer, was of course the big fight against Conor McGregor a few years ago, which was a massive fight. Even though I think we all knew Conor had no chance, and yeah, it was a 10 round. It went 10 rounds, but I think Floyd just played around with Conor, didn't he, for 10 rounds until he eventually ended it. And apparently Floyd earned $300 million for that fight, so mad. And now on to Logan, of course. Yes, Logan Paul, who I've come to really respect and admire and watch the last couple of years. Ever since before his fights with KSI, I didn't really care about him. But obviously, then he had both his fights with KSI, of course, the amateur fight, and then obviously the big pro fight he had with KSI in 2019. And yeah, I've come to like the guy. I think he's grown a lot as a boxer and as a as an entertainer, as a YouTuber. In the 2 fights he had with KSI since then, obviously, I still watch a channel every now and then, like the Impulsive podcast. And I think he's a top guy. He's a cool guy, Logan Paul. He's a lot more likable than Jake. And yet, credit for him for getting in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. Credit to him, because that takes balls. But I think the money helped a lot, because apparently he's getting paid a lot for this fight. It's a big payday for Logan. And yeah, I've seen him in interviews. He doesn't seem phased. He seems pretty confident that he's going to win. I'm like, Logan, come on. Obviously his last pro fight was against KSI. He only had one pro fight, was against KSI in the Staples Center in 2019, which of course he lost via split decision. Obviously the 2-point deduction and all that, but yeah, so he only had one fight and he's lost pro fight. So because of that, because he couldn't beat KSI, but now he's fighting Floyd Mayweather. it's nuts. And the fact that, I mean, I like Logan, but he's coming across as a bit delusional in some of his interviews, because he said, I'm younger than Floyd, I'm taller, I'm stronger, I've got a longer reach. I'm like, yeah, but you're going up against one of the greatest boxers of all time, who's literally going to just toy with you in that ring until he wants to finish it. That's what Floyd's going to do. But yeah, that's the only advantage Logan has in this fight. The fact that he is significantly younger than Floyd. What, I think 18 years younger? Or was it 20 years younger? I don't know. He's significantly younger than Floyd. I mean, Logan's young enough to be Floyd's son. He really. Of course, the height difference. There's a big height difference. Floyd Mayweather is 5'8". Logan is 6'2", so a big height difference. Weight difference too. Floyd Mayweather is 67 kilos. Logan Paul is 91. So 20 plus kilo difference. And of course, Logan has a significantly longer reach too, which he does have a good jab. I will say that his fights with KSI, Logan does have a good jab, but he just didn't use it enough when he fought KSI. I think he's going to have to use it here to have any chance at all against Floyd Mayweather. But here's my prediction for the fight. Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, done. It's the fact that, no, nothing else is going to happen, is that Floyd's going to win. He's going to have his way with Logan. It's just... I'm just laughing that this is actually happening, but it's going to be a spectacle, isn't it? It'll be a big show. It's a lot of people are going to be watching it. Obviously, all of Logan's audience are going to be watching it. Everyone's going to be watching. A lot of people will be watching it, I think. But yeah, I fully expect Floyd to just toy with Logan. I think what he'll do is he'll let Logan do a little bit, and maybe in the first or second round, he'll let Logan do a little bit. Like, he'll dance around with him, do a few little jabs. He'll do what he did against Conor McGregor. He'll let Logan have the early rounds to maybe just to make it look good. He'll make Logan look good. And then the second Floyd wants to just get it on, really start putting the pressure on, he'll snap, and then boom! I think he'll just completely dominate the fight like he did against against Conor McGregor. So I think he'll do the exact same here against Logan. I don't think Floyd Mayweather doesn't take Logan seriously at all. I think that this is just a fun exhibition fight for Floyd, isn't it? A nice big fat payday for him. So yeah, obviously the press conference wasn't really good, was it? And then it was just cringy the way they were talking to each other on stage with hardly any questions, no moderator. And then there was that big brawl between Jake Paul and Floyd Mayweather's security, because he was like, got your hat. But personally, I think that was a massive publicity stunt. I think that was all planned to build interest for the fight, because that video got millions of views on YouTube, millions of views on Instagram. It exploded, didn't it? I think that was, that's what they do to build to a boxing match. Was it real? I don't know, but it was only a freaking $20 cap, Floyd, for God's sake. But yeah. Yeah, Jake Paul has been banned from the event, but yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But can you imagine? Just imagine. I know that 1% chance that Logan Paul has. Can you, if Logan comes out swinging really, really heavy, if he's learnt a lot from his 2 fights with KSI, he's been training in Puerto Rico. If he comes in hot and does land on Mayweather, just imagine. Imagine if, because Mayweather's not taking him seriously, he comes into that, he underestimates Logan. Just imagine if the chance in a million Logan lands on Floyd and drops him. Could you imagine if, I know it's a massive if, but if Logan did win, the internet would explode. But I don't think it would count, would it? Because this is an exhibition match, not an official ranked match. So even if Logan won in the chance of a million, it wouldn't count. So I think Floyd would still be 50-0, wouldn't he? Because this is an exhibition fight. But yeah, but obviously I've got my money on Floyd Mayweather to win. He doesn't have a big knockout record, Floyd Mayweather. I think Floyd Mayweather's only had 27 KOs in 50 fights, so he mainly just outscores and outskilled his opponents, and he wins via unanimous decision. So I think he'll either beat Logan, it'll go 8 rounds, but I think Logan will maybe gas by the 5th or 6th round if it goes that long. So I think either Floyd just completely dances and outboxes and frustrates Logan all 8 rounds and he wins unanimous decision, or maybe he actually drops Logan, because if he can land a few shots on Logan, even with his age, he's still Floyd Mayweather, for God's sake. I think you could potentially drop Logan maybe in the midway of the fight. But I think the second Floyd turns it on and what applies pressure, Logan's in trouble. Simple as that. But yeah, I think he'll carry Logan for a little bit and then he'll have his way with him, just like he did with Conor McGregor. So yeah, that's my prediction for the fight. Floyd Mayweather wins at either unanimous decision or TKO. Yeah. So what are your thoughts, guys? Do you think have you got Floyd Mayweather, or are you crazy and do you think Logan Paul has a chance? But yeah, guys, comment below, let me know. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you all very soon. And Logan, good luck, because you're gonna fucking need it.